Most anime protagonists are defined by how strong they are. Coco from Witch Hat Atelier is defined by how carefully she draws a line. That sounds like a small thing. It's not. It might be the reason she's one of the best written protagonists in anime right now. Here's what I mean by well-written. It's not the strongest character or the funniest or the one with the coolest design. It's a character whose flaws and goals are actually built into how the world works, not just bolted on for drama. Most fantasy leads get their power from destiny, a bloodline, a chosen one prophecy. Coco gets hers from discipline and guilt. Those are not glamorous things to build a hero around. That's exactly why it works. Coco grew up an ordinary girl, no magic, raised by a single mother who ran a tailoring shop. She was obsessed with witches anyway, in the way kids get obsessed with things they're told they can never have. Then she secretly watches a traveling witch named Kifri draw a spell and realizes something huge. Magic isn't a gift you're born with, it's drawn, which means, in theory, anyone could learn it. That night, she tries copying a spell from a mysterious book she'd been given years earlier. She doesn't understand what she's doing. It goes wrong, and her mother, stepping outside at exactly the wrong moment, is turned to stone. Here's the writing choice that matters. Most stories would use this as backstory trauma, resolved by the 20-minute mark. In Witch Hat Atelier, it isn't resolved. It's the engine. Every choice Coco makes from here on is in service of undoing that one mistake. Her motivation isn't save the world, it's fix the thing I broke. That's a harder, messier, more human thing to write, and the show never lets her off the hook for it. This is where the show gets genuinely clever. In most anime, power means spectacle, bigger explosions, flashier attacks. In Witch Hat Atelier, Coco's defining skill is drawing a perfectly steady, controlled line, because in this magic system, a shaky line doesn't just fail, it can be catastrophic. That's not a flashy ability, it's patience made literal, and it maps directly onto who she is as a person, meticulous, careful, quietly terrified of causing harm again, because she's already lived through what happens when she isn't. That's the difference between a magic system that's just consistent and one that's actually in service of character. The rules of the world aren't just world building for its own sake, they're a mirror for what Coco is feeling. Every other apprentice at Kifri's atelier became a witch the normal way. Coco didn't. She's the only one who caused real, lasting harm to get here, and everyone around her knows it. She also sits in the middle of the story's central conflict between the rule-bound witches who guard magic secrets and the rebellious faction that thinks magic should be free, consequences or not. She doesn't cleanly belong to either side. That matters because it means Coco isn't a blank slate the audience just projects onto. She has a specific, uncomfortable position in her own world, and the story never lets her or us forget it. Here's the part a lot of shows get wrong. They give a character a tragic backstory and then solve it in one arc. Big emotional cry, hug, moving on. Witch Hat Atelier doesn't do that. Coco's mistake doesn't get fixed in a few chapters, it stays with her, an open wound that keeps shaping her decisions long after the moment it happened. That's the real test of a well-written character. Does the thing that defines them still matter later? For Coco, it does, every time. Zoom out for a second. The anime just premiered, which means a huge wave of people are meeting Coco for the first time in a landscape absolutely full of overpowered wish fulfillment protagonists. And here's Coco, not the strongest character in her own story, maybe not even the most talented, but she's the one whose choices actually cost her something. That's rarer than raw power in anime protagonists right now, and it's exactly why she's worth paying attention to. So, best written protagonist in anime right now? I think Coco's got a real case. Who do you think is doing it better right now? Drop a name in the comments. I actually want to know.